Hey, Mike Armstrong, SVP at Fanatics Events. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, David.
All right. So we are just a couple of days away from Fanatics Fest at the Javits Center. You're holed up at the Javits Center, getting everyone prepared for thousands of people to converge there. So first of all, I think the big question is, we're talking about sports here. What took so long for this sort of what's being billed as a Comic-Con-esque gathering for sports, like one of the biggest genres in the world?
It's a good question, and we kind of asked ourselves that along the way. Why hasn't anybody tried this before? And I think we have the benefit of being powered by Fanatics, who is deeply entrenched in the sports industry, from all of the major leagues to tens to dozens to hundreds of different athletes. It's a pretty incredible undertaking when you think about it. And when people get to the show and look at the show floor, seeing activations from all of the major leagues, seeing over 200 different athletes who are here signing and taking pictures, and seeing one of the biggest card shows that's ever taken place in New York City. It's amazing that it hasn't happened before, but we're so proud of the effort that our team has put into this and really excited for fans to see it once we open on Friday.
And then, but let me say, like, why do you think it took so long? Like, were there any barriers that you guys had just in terms of getting it off the ground? Like when you sort of really dug down into and getting it off the ground and preparing, were you like, oh, these are issues that maybe others would have had or that you had to overcome, or just Fanatics is Fanatics and it's so well entrenched in the sports and related industries, it was a little bit, quote, easier kind of
Yeah.
just to do it.
Well, I think we are incented to invest in something like this. I think
Yeah.
when there are operators who are running smaller card shows or smaller events, they're looking to make money. And I think
Yeah.
what Fanatics is able to do is see the vision and see that an event like this can not only thrive in New York City, but can also live in cities around the world.
Yeah.
We're going to lose money on this show, and we're happy to do that because we want to show fans that something like this is for them, and we want to make the investment in the experience so that people come, have an amazing time, and then start to build a real business out of this.
And why do you think you're going to lose money from it? It just is such a blockbuster event, and it's like producing a great movie. Sometimes it's just the expenses are more than the actual sort of the funding coming in, kind of.
Well, seeing once people get to the show and they
Yeah.
see the look and feel and they see the
Yeah.
activations that we've worked with our league partners to create, they're going to see why this is an expensive show to build.
Yeah.
But to be able to work with our various league partners and have
Yeah.
them build some of the most amazing activations I've seen in this building before,
Yeah.
things that they would host at their Super Bowl experience or at the MLB All-Star game, seeing them pull from that inventory of experiences and activities, it's no small feat. And the show that people are going to experience on Friday is something that we're all really proud of,
Yeah.
and sets the tone for what we're going to be able to build in the future.
Now, so in terms of the activations, there's obviously lots of, corporate partners and just other sorts of partners, right? When we talk about activations. And then when you have the athletes, right, and other talent, were there any sort of athletes or just any other talent that you had to convince to take part, or they were all already down with Fanatics? I mean, already Fanatics has an incredible relationship with so many people. Were there any people that you slightly needed to twist their arm to take part in it?
Well, I will say that 99% of the athletes that we have at the event see the opportunity to engage with their fans in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
So if you look at some of the panels that are taking place, the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul press conference,
Yeah.
the
It's
Derek
everywhere.
Jeter,
Yeah.
it's everywhere, and the Derek Jeter, David Ortiz panel that's happening, the Tom Brady panel, the Michael Rubin and Travis Scott panel. Like, people are excited to be in an environment where they're not necessarily being asked about that game-winning drive or that home run that they hit in Game 7. We're asking them questions as if they're like people who have other interests, who have
Yeah.
charitable endeavors, who have businesses that they want to promote. So I think there was a lot of excitement from the athletes who are coming to the show to like be human and
Yeah.
not be viewed as just this superstar athlete, but also use this as an opportunity to talk about their other interests.
Just to basically be a little bit more relatable, I guess, kind of, or
Sure. Yeah.
and I mean, is there anyone you want to say who you wish could have gone? Not that I expect you to name names, kind of everyone is there. I can't really think of anyone else, but is there anyone maybe or
I mean, you could look at the lineup of Olympic gold medalists
I
that
was
I
just
wish
about to
we.
say that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's an incredible lineup of people. Had we known then what we know now about
Yeah.
their amazing performances, I would have loved to have had them. Now the timing's kind of tight to get them there, but sure. I mean, we've got our wish list of people that we hope to come to future events, but
Yeah.
to have 200 of the most incredible athletes from all sports at this show has been a huge undertaking and something that we're really looking forward to fans engaging with.
And can you tell so far, if you want to say, from just in terms of signups for some of the specific activations or autographs and photo ops, um, who are some of the bigger draws, so to speak? I mean, I'm just seeing, anecdotally, like you're saying, like the Mike Tyson is like sort of everywhere. Tom Brady, but that's not surprising because those are such big names. Obviously, Michael Rubin and Travis Scott. I mean, I just would imagine that those are such large names in pop culture at large, that those are sort of big draws. But I guess everyone has their favorite too, really.
I will tell you that I have been so amazed and impressed by the fervor of WWE fans.
Yeah.
We have 15 different WWE superstars who are participating over Saturday and Sunday, and
Yeah.
every single one of them is sold out of photos and autographs.
Wow.
The passionate fan base of WWE fans have come out in droves, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to see them in cosplay and doing their superstar entrance when people get to the show. It's been incredible to see the response behind them.
And that actually goes to my next question I was going to ask. Is there one sport that you're seeing sort of the most interest in? Is it like football fans are just, registering the most, or is it WWE, or did that surprise, like, is it football fans? Is it some of the hockey content, baseball? Like, is it just, I'm just curious, is there one sport that's eclipsing others?
I think, out of the eight major leagues that we have, if you're counting WWE and UFC, like they're all pretty, they're hitting their batting average. Like
Yeah.
they're coming in a big way. I think seeing the response to, for example, the Gotham FC panel, which is going to have various gold medal soccer players from the U.S. Women's Olympic team, seeing the response to that has been amazing. Seeing the response to somebody like Sabrina Ionescu, who's
Mhm.
coming from the New York Liberty, has been really great. So it's not just the big sports and the big
Yeah.
leagues. We're seeing a lot of, I guess you could call them more niche fan bases,
Yeah.
really respond.
And it could be personality. And then what about in terms of the activity? Or is it you're finding people are more interested in photo ops or autographs or just the speaking engagements? Is there something that the people are gravitating more towards?
We've sold tens of thousands of photos and autographs.
Yeah.
So the people want to meet their fan, they want to meet their athletes, they want to meet their heroes. So
Yeah.
that's not surprising. I think getting the online response from some of the various activations that are taking place in the league booths, like people are excited to run the 40-yard dash in the NFL booth. They're
Yeah.
excited to do the slap shot accuracy challenge in the NHL booth. They're excited to do the superstar entrance in the WWE booth. So knowing, I think there's a whole element of collecting and collectibles as well. The Tops booth with some exclusive drops,
For sure.
and
Yeah.
seeing over 250 of the best card dealers from around the country being here. There's a lot of things that people are excited about, and that's good. We want people to come for the thing that they want, but then
Yeah.
we also want them to discover something else. I think
Yeah.
that's the most important part of these shows is that you come because you're a card collector, but you find a hat drop that you really want, or you come because you're a big NFL fan, but then you get hooked on trading cards. We like to be able to like kind of cross contaminate
Yeah.
people so that they come as a fan of something, but they leave a fan of something else.
So are you expecting complete pandemonium? Because I've been to Comic-Con and just other shows of that ilk at Javits, and sometimes it's like it's crazy, especially on the weekend and just everything. What are you sort of just expecting the vibe to be?
I like the term controlled chaos. We've been
Yes.
throwing that around a lot. When you talk about some of the personalities that are going to be here
Yeah.
outside of sport, you've got people like Travis Scott, you've got Drewski, you've got Aiden Ross, you've got Livy Dunn, you've got all sorts of people who are coming to capture content to engage with their own fans. So I think there are going to be people here who are going to see stuff that I bet they didn't expect to see at a show like this.
And then two more questions, and then this may be for after it wraps. And I'm just curious, do you have an idea yet in just terms of demographics? Whether, just, I mean, I'm assuming it's going to skew male, probably skew, younger, in general. Do you have any idea yet what you're seeing, or that's something to be analyzed maybe after the fact?
We'll dig in deep after the show.
Yeah.
What I will say anecdotally is that a lot of families, which we're really excited about, because
Yeah.
we want we say that there's two different demographics of family. There's parents dragging kids, and
Yeah.
there's kids dragging parents. And
Cute.
we've
Like,
found that there is an equal mix of both. We've got
yeah.
kids who are huge WWE fans who are dragging their parents along, and we've got parents who are huge WWE fans who are dragging their kids along because they want them to be fans of the same thing that they are. So I think we'll get a better sense after the fact. But I've been really impressed with kind of the swath of different types of people that are coming.
Got it. And then finally, just looking toward next year, I'm assuming you already have thought about next year. Maybe not super formal because you're right in the middle of this year, but are there some things just in terms of preparing for this weekend, right? You're just like, you know what, I'll hold on to that till next year type of stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got a whole lineup of events that we're going to do for the rest of this year and into
Yeah.
next in different cities like Orlando and LA. So we're going to be in other places. I think, you put all this effort into planning an event like this and you
Yeah.
think you know what people want, and then like you really get to watch what people are interested in throughout the show. And our team spends a lot of time talking to fans, watching how fans react to certain things, so that we can take that and then use that to build the next one. But we're always constantly thinking about things that we can improve and ways that we can make the show better going forward.
And are you gonna be like Red Bull chugging all weekend or energy drink guy, or you're just gonna how you gonna get by this weekend?
Dude, I started my Red Bull Monday when I got to Javits, and I'm sure it's going to continue through Monday when we move out. So we got a great team here. The Javits is a great building to work in, and we've got an amazing crew. So we've all got each other to lean on. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of caffeine going on.
All right, that's great. All right, listen, Mike, it was so great talking to you. Have a great, Fanatics Fest. I'll be there taking it all in navigating through the controlled chaos, like you said.
Wonderful. Can't wait to see you.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, take care. Bye.
Thanks, David.